ACC gymnastics is underway, and the expectations around the team in Chapel Hill are soaring. North Carolina, the best score in the ACC last week, but the defending champ in the ACC, Stanford, not far behind for now. Anna Roberts and the Cardinal try to pick up their first win of the year, nearly 3,000 miles from home. It is great to have you with us. She is a Florida legend, one of the best to ever do it in college gymnastics, Trinity Thomas. All right, North Carolina, Stanford. You could argue, Trinity, that these are two of the top contenders in the ACC.
You absolutely can argue that. Stanford, your ACC champions from last year, but hey, UNC came in last week and put up the top score in the ACC, so they're keeping their momentum from last year as well, and this is going to be an exciting meet tonight. Very
impressive for Stanford, but for North Carolina, you mentioned it, top score in the ACC. You go back to the loaded roster for Stanford. 2 Olympians added to the roster this season with Ana Barbosu, Levi Young, Rui Vivar, but for Barbosu, out of Romania, she is just dynamic in every aspect.
Yes, she is your 2024 Olympic floor bronze medalist and a 4-time medalist at 2025 Euros. She is incredibly experienced on the world stage, and now she's taking to the college stage by storm. She's unreal, absolutely unreal, and we are so excited to see her here in a little bit.
Can't wait to watch her. We mentioned Levi Young, Rui Vivar, the other Olympian for Stanford, who competed for the Philippines in Paris back in 2024. She is so artistic. Barbosu, different level of locked in when she really gets going, just adding to Stanford's prowess coming into this season. And when you look at North Carolina, Sydney Seabrooks, another freshman phenom, second highest score on floor in the nation last week.
I got to see this in person, and boy, can she fly high. She competes with such a confidence for a freshman especially. A 9.95 on floor in her collegiate debut. Oh, she's going to be a fun one to watch all season long.
Yeah, there's nothing to hang their heads about for North Carolina and Sydney Seabrooks. Last week, Florida quad meet. Florida had the highest score in the nation last week. North Carolina came in second. It was their highest road season opening score in program history. And Gwen Fink won the all-around title as well. North Carolina's focus was starting strong. That was a goal that Dana Durante talked about coming into the season. Really felt more like a 3rd or 4th meet performance, the way they took the mat against Florida last week. They started getting into full rotations and routines earlier in the offseason to make sure that they would hit the ground running. As for Stanford, Tabitha Yim, she thought that they were a little bit nervous last week before the Denver meet. A little bit surprised by that with some of the veterans on the team, but they were just a little more reserved than they are in practice. She wants to see a little bit more fire and joy from her team today. Rotation 1, we are going to start on vault for North Carolina. Stanford will be on the bars. Ellie King, Nev King, we'll see them both today. Got the identical twins, and Ellie, the more vivacious of the two, will start us off.
Ellie's going to start us off with the Yurchenko full. That was a pretty significant hop on that landing, but pretty clean in the air as well. Strong start.
Had a 9.8 on vaults last week for North Carolina, the junior out of the Woodlands, Texas, in the Houston area. This is Levi Young, Rui Vivar on the bars. Again, so artistic, and her toe point off the charts.
Incredible, one of the best toe points I have ever seen. Take a look at those lines that she has throughout her bar routine as well. Getting those cast handstands. Stalled her to double back dismount. Just a small hop on the landing. Very clean and beautiful routine.
She's feeling it after that one. There's that joy that Tabitha Yim wanted to see. Here's the meet format. You've got six gymnasts competing for each team. You drop the lowest one in the order of operations here with each apparatus as well. It moves quick, but it is a bunch of fun to watch. Reminder, that lowest score is dropped, and we'll keep tabs on that throughout each event. It is Gwen Fink's turn on the vault. All-around champ at Florida in the quad meet last week.
She was impressive last weekend, and I'm excited again to see her tonight.
She's more of that quiet, thoughtful personality. We talked about Sydney Seabrooks and the vivacious personality she has. They complement each other really well. The mentorship program for North Carolina, big little sisters to help them rub off on each other. 9.725 in for Ellie King on the vault. And it's time for Gwen Fink in her run now.
She's going to be looking for a clean vault in the air, a controlled landing here on this 1.5. Not bad at all. Very good vault for Gwen Fink. Let's take another look at this Yurchenko 1.5. Little shoulder angle on the table, little feet in the air. Hop on the landing, fights for that landing as well. It's important that the gymnasts hold that finish for 1 second or it is a deduction.
Tied her career high on vault last week with a 9.875. Again, all-around performer. Gwen Fink is the cornerstone for North Carolina. Now it's Ava Sorrento on the bars for Stanford.
Very nice cast handstand. Maloney up to the high bar. Pack salto back down to the low bar. Looking for anything pirouetting to get right on top of the bar. She was a little short there. Just the dismount left. Double layout, very floaty. Does go for that stick, has to take a tiny step forward. Cute. Let's take another look at this dismount. Her toes come up high, double layout, above the bar. Chest is just a little bit low on that finish.
Scores continue to come in. Gwen Fink, 9.8 for North Carolina. And Levi Young-Ruiz-Vivar with a 9.85 on bars. Paige Prejean.
Big Yurchenko full. Very good control on that landing. She did take a hop, but it was a small hop.
Maybe a small deduction for that small hop, but nothing major for Paige Prejean, the senior out of Houston. At a 9.85 on vault this past week at Florida. Vault and floor, the top two events, according to Dana Durante so far this season, where they have the most confidence. A lot of new faces on bars and beam for North Carolina, but this should be one of the staple events for the Tar Heels. And a lot of high potential for Sienna Robinson and Stanford on bars. Tabitha Yim thinks that Stanford can gain a lot of separation on bars this year from the competition. For Sorrento to match Young-Ruiz-Vivar. Very strong start for Stanford on bars. The points of emphasis here on bars, Trinity. Got to make sure everything's in line.
Yes, we want to see those handstands on top of the bar. Look at this release. Very nicely done. Sienna is very good on bars. That was a pack salto down to the low bar. She's gearing up for her dismount here. Another very good handstand. Let's see if she can get this stuck landing. Full twisting double back. Just a small hop. I love how much fun they're having out there. Let's take a look at this release move. This is a Jaeger. Gets above the high bar. That was gorgeous. Nice cast handstand. Full twisting double back. Just a small hop. Wonderful routine for Sienna.
You know, even with the celebrations that we've seen, the joy that we talked about right away, Tabitha Yim's got to be so pleased with it. Jojo Valahovic is next for North Carolina on vault.
She can do this vault very well. Wow! Shevchenko, 1.5, stuck. That was a gorgeous vault. Oh, she's gotta be happy about that one. Let's take another look at this vault. Remember, this is a 10-0 start value. 1.5 twists in the air. Gets that stuck landing. Look at that chest position, straight up and down. No feet separation until a little bit at the end, but oh my goodness, that was just gorgeous.
Her career high is a 9.9. She might challenge it now.
I think she might.
Prejean awarded a 9.8 for North Carolina. Pair of 9.85s to start on bars for Stanford. See what Sienna Robinson brings in. Reminder, the lowest score will be dropped for each team. Now it's Anna Roberts, a national champion, All-American, one of the best in Stanford history.
Floaty pack salto. Notice her feet are glued together. Maloney half up to the high bar. Gearing up for her dismount, double layout. Wow, very good. Just a little bit of movement with that left foot. But other than that, what a great routine. Dancing, having fun, that's what it's all about.
Maybe not quite enough of a stick for the stick, but what a performance here from Anna Roberts.
Yes, take a look at that handstand on top of the bar. It's exactly what we like to see. Hack salto right down to the low bar. Her legs were glued together. You can't see any separation.
Sydney Seabrooks on vault.
Shevchenko full. Going for that landing. Has to take a hop back.
One of the most anticipated freshmen in college gymnastics this year, Sydney Seabrooks. She'll compete on everything except for bars today, but expect her to be an all-around performer later in the season. Anna Barbosu about to step up on bars. Jojo Valahovic tying her career high with a 9.9 on vaults, and Anna Roberts with a 9.9 on bars. The scores just keep getting better. And a reminder, Ellie King grayed out, lowest score dropped on each event.
Now remember, this is a much easier bar routine for Anna than she's used to, but every detail counts in the NCAA. Maloney to the high bar there. Cass Hansen just a little short. Full twisting double back. Just a hop on the landing. Holds that finish very nicely. They must be practicing these dance moves beforehand. Another look at the dismount, full twisting double tuck. I would like to see it come up a little bit more before she lets go of the bar, but that was beautiful.
Did you have dance moves ready to go all the time?
I did not. Now I'm looking, it seems like I should have, but.
They have them queued up. And ready to anchor the vault. It is Kaya Forbes, her best event.
And she can do a very big vault. Shevchenko full. Nice. Dropped it right in. Yurchenko full here. Almost keeps those heels on the ground. Very nice vault from Kaya Forbes.
She made the national championships in vault, the NCAA championships. Last year, it was the first North Carolina Tar Heel to reach the NCAAs as an individual since 2018. So Forbes is going to be critical this season for North Carolina in this event. And the anchor on bars, Ui Soma. Some of the cleanest lines and handstands on bars in the nation, Trinity.
Now this is a bar routine to be excited about. She got a perfect 10 on this event last year at ACC Gymnastics Championships. Look at that floaty Maloney up to the high bar, pack salto down to the low bar. Right back up with a Maloney half. just the dismount left, and she can do a beautiful double layout. Gets the stuck landing. That is gonna be a big score. I also love how she held that stick for a second before she presented, just to emphasize, hey, I got that landing. Double layout. Very nice. She's like, nope, I didn't move.
Another strong performance. We mentioned the stick. Anytime there's a stick, they have a literal stick. They dress it up with a bow and everything. The freshmen find it every away meet. Phenomenal tradition that Stanford started several years ago. Really strong performance on bars. All the scores in on vault for North Carolina, 9875 for Forbes. 49,125 total on the vault for North Carolina, a little bit lower than last week. And coming up in rotation 2, Stanford on the vault with Ana Barbosu. Her transition to the United States in college gymnastics. Trinity spoke with her earlier this week. We'll see more of it on the other side. Strong start for Stanford on bars as we're on to rotation 2. Ui Soma with a 9.925 on bars, the anchor for Stanford, to give the Cardinal 49.425, by far their season high to this point on bars. An Olympian newcomer for Stanford freshman Ana Barbosu out of Romania. She's an Olympic medalist on floor, and Trinity spoke to her earlier this week.
You had quite the first meet, so congratulations on that, on ACC Newcomer of the Week. That's literally phenomenal.
It was a really fun meet. It was interesting to see how it is to travel the day before the meet and then right away getting adjusted to the new equipment and then right away competing.
When you were back in Romania, did you watch college gymnastics? Was that something that you did?
Actually, yeah, especially in the last 2 years, like especially in the beginning of the year when it's like college gymnastics season, we were starting to see a lot of gymnasts on the Instagram, like performing, getting tens, and like notion of what college is like.
How has your adjustment been?
I feel like I'm home in the gym here with all my teammates, because it was crazy for me to see how well we can connect with each other, even if we just met.
Not too often you get an Olympic medalist to compete in college gymnastics, primed for a great college career. Not an easy transition coming to the United States, though.
No, not at all. I can't even imagine coming from a whole nother country to college gymnastics. Me just going from high school to college was really difficult. So she is just phenomenal, and I am so excited for the rest of her career.
Can't wait to watch the rest of today.
Yeah.
Stanford already with a strong performance. Rotation 2 coming up with Stanford on the vault, North Carolina on bars. About to start rotation 2 with Stanford on vault, North Carolina bars. Just before the break, we saw Ana Barbosu take a bit of a tumble in warm-ups. That's not always an indicator to how the actual performance goes.
No, absolutely not. And Ana is so experienced, and mistakes are going to happen, and that's what warm-ups is for, to get all the kinks out. And so I'm sure she'll be just fine in competition.
Some athletes are just gamers. When it's time to go, it is time to go, right?
Absolutely.
How was that for you, warm-up wise? Did you need to be locked in during warm-ups, or were you fine with tumbles and it didn't really phase you?
I needed to be locked in during warm-ups. I needed my warm-ups to be exactly how I wanted to compete. And so a lot of times, if it wasn't, I would go back up and do another one if there was still time. But my coaches always told me, you're going to be fine. You do this in the gym every day. Focus on that.
Worked out pretty well for you. Florida legend Trinity Thomas, I'm Jack Kaiser. Alana Walker will start off the vault for Stanford. Led off on vault last week at Denver as well. Experience competing for the Jamaican national team. Here she goes.
Can't go full. So that was a little bit flat off the table didn't get as much height as some of the other Yurchenko fulls that we've seen today. So that may be a little bit lower of a score.
Stanford did have its lowest score on vault last week in the loss to Denver. Cardinal going for their first win today as they open ACC play against North Carolina and Nev King. And identical twins with Ellie, who led off vault in the last rotation.
She's going to start off with a Maloney to the high bar. We did see some feet separation going on there. Those are all deductions. Anytime your feet come apart, those are small deductions. Salter handstand, just the dismount, double back. Comes up with that stuck landing. Very nice finish. Double tuck dismount. Fights for that stuck landing. She's excited about it too.
Her career high 9.85 on bars. Walker with a 9.65 to start on vault for the Cardinal. Here's Barbosu. Took a tumble in warm-ups. Different vault coming for Barbosu now.
She's gonna do a soup full here. No problems. So we just saw her land on her back in warm-ups. As somebody as experienced as she, we're gonna watch it one more time. It's no problem to get back up and do it again. So she's got a little bit of a hip angle there, so that would be a deduction. But she's gonna keep working on those little things throughout season, and it's just gonna keep getting better and better.
I mean, the world has seen her peak, right? At the Olympics, bronze medalist on the floor. But an all-around force that will continue to get better and better in her first season in college gymnastics.
And that was very impressive in only her second meet, getting up there and hitting a vault after a tumble in warm-ups.
Anna Pearl Stanley. Dana Durante said her bars are beautiful.
Maloney up to the high bar. Pack salto down to the low bar. Pirouette. Sometimes pirouettes are very difficult to do without deduction, but that was very close to on top of the bar. Just the dismount. Double layout. Oh, just a small hop forward. That was a great double layout. If she just lets her toes come up a little more, that'll be a stick in no time.
Fun gymnastics on ACC Network today. Tuesday, the ACC Network has a great basketball doubleheader starting at 7 Eastern with Darian Williams and NC State taking on RJ Godfrey, number 22 Clemson. Followed at 9 Eastern when Boopie Miller and SMU face Juke Harris and Wake Forest. Summer Gronsky on the vault for Stanford now.
Chenko full. Mind you, Summer had a fall last weekend on that. She didn't even do her vault. She just stuck that Yurchenko full, second meet ever in her career. Take a look at this. Yurchenko full twist, sees the landing, gets the stuck. That is awesome. I am so proud of her. I actually got a chance to talk to her earlier, and she did tell me about her first meet. Well, look at that for a second one.
What a change. Pretty much missed the table last week. She had a great sense of humor about it, posting about it on social media. Had a 6-3. That was terrific for her second performance in a big bounce back. Barbosu with a 9.725 on vault, 9.8 for Anna Pearl Stanley in this event for North Carolina bars.
Very nice Jaeger, straight down to the low bar with a shoot over to horizontal. Working to get those casts a little bit more on top of the bar, just the dismount left. Double layout. Oh, big hop, that's okay.
Could be 2/10 perhaps taken off for Claire Stipik at the end here.
This was a nice Jaeger. Right down to the low bar with a shoot over. That's a difficult connection.
Spent her first couple of years at Kentucky, second year with UNC now. And Terrell Wynn, the defending ACC vault champion, had a 9-9 last week.
Yurchenko full, very nice. Oh. And that's actually Ui Soma.
It is, yep. So Wynn following Soma. Tremendous freshman year for Soma. Again, her best event bars. Summer Gronsky with a 9.825 to lead the way on vault for Stanford so far. Got to mention again, the fall she had last week, and to come back with a 9.825 in her second career meet. Very impressive. To Paige Prejean on bars for UNC.
Now Paige can fly so high on this event. Just take a look at her opening combination. Watch the height that Paige gets on this release. Wow. Oh, so that was a Tkachev down to the low bar with a pack salto. Sometimes when you do a release that big, it is really hard to control that power. And I saw Paige do a gorgeous one in warm-ups. Unfortunately, she did take a fall there, but Paige is gonna try to finish strong. Very nice cast on top of the high bar. Unique dismount, double front. Controlled step on the landing. What a way for Paige to finish strong. Take a look at this release, so big. Almost too big and couldn't quite control that pack salto coming down to the low bar. But that is one of the biggest Tkachevs being done in NCAA gymnastics.
How hard is it to refocus yourself after that happens to you?
It's very difficult because you're so used to making your routine every single time. So you have to calm yourself back down and get back up and finish strong.
Terrell Wynn.
Oh, she completely missed that block. So she kind of slid across the table. Unfortunately, sat that 1.5 down. Take another look here. Watch how she comes into the table. So she slid across it, had a big shoulder angle, and ended up sitting that 1.5 down. But we're glad she's okay.
Gives you perspective on the centimeters at play here. That's the defending ACC vault champ. It's gonna happen to everybody.
Absolutely. Everyone makes mistakes, but you get back up and you have to keep going strong.
Long season. Gwen Fink now on bars, 9.775 for Soma. Alana Walker, grayed out, lowest score dropped in each event for Stanford right now with a 9.65. UNC posted a 49.125 on vaults. Well, Stanford had a 49.425 on bars in the first rotation. Judges are mulling something over.
Yes, so sometimes when there is a fall, it's even more difficult to get that score back up. It's easier to judge a made routine, a hit routine. So the judges are probably having some trouble there figuring out combinations and start value issues.
Again, with the fall for Terrell Wynn. Alana Walker grayed out right now on the score bug there, but that'll end up being counted as the lowest one is dropped, and you would expect that to be Wynn with the fall. And Prejean with a 9.05 with her fall on bars.
It can be very difficult to go up after a fall knowing that you have to hit in order to drop that score.
Yep.
But if you want anyone going up, you want somebody with some experience, and Gwen Fink can get it done.
Senior all-around champ last week. ACC champ on beam last year. Now an all-around performer consistently for the first time in her career this season.
Big Jaeger. She's very solid on this event. Shoot over to handstand. Fights for that cast handstand. Double layout. Just a hop on the landing. That's exactly what they needed to get back on track.
Coming up now for Stanford, the anchor on vault, Anna Roberts, national champion 2 years ago. So much power.
Look at this vault. Yurchenko 1.5, stuck, chest position, perfect. Oh, this is phenomenal. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
She just pops off the table. But she nails the basics too. Doesn't sacrifice that.
Big vault coming up. Yurchenko 1.5. Oh, going for that landing. Does take a step back. So that will be an extra deduction, but it looked wonderful in the air. Let's take another look at this vault. Watch the height off the table. She's a little bit to the right. Has to take a step back, but doesn't forget to hold that finish. Super important.
Roberts had a 9.775 last week. Win with the lowest score for Stanford dropped. And Kaya Forbes, the anchor on bars for the Tar Heels. Also anchored vault.
So they do need another hit routine here from Kaya. Pass handstand right on top of the bar. Maloney. Shoot over. Looking good. Just the dismount left. Full twisting double tuck. She did pull in a little bit, but no problem. She stuck with that. You can see on her face, she's like, oops, but that's okay.
She did hit the routine. They needed it after the fall from Prejean.
Take a look at that handstand straight on top of the bar. Very nice. She's in that green area. She did pull in on this dismount, got a little close to the bar, but luckily she was safe, landed on her feet. Exactly what her team needed.
A 9.8 given to Anna Roberts on the vault. High score there for Gronsky with a 9.825. Waiting for Forbes' score to round out rotation 2. Gwen Fink with a 9.825 on bars. And we are now joined by Stanford head coach Tabitha Yim. Coach, what do you think of your team's performance so far?
You know, I think we started off really strong on bars, so it was nice to see them be aggressive and really celebrate those routines on that first event. Had a little bit of a dip there on the second event. It's really early in the season, and so I feel like that's fairly typical. What a great opportunity for us. We've been talking about having a growth mindset, and that's absolutely what we're going to do here. Learn from that and really bring the energy and set the tone for these next 2 events.
Yes, what are you looking for as you go to your next event from your team here on the floor?
Oh man, you guys are in for a treat. I can't wait to see these performances on floor. Floor is one of my favorite events because you get to show your personality. And so I really want to see them just have fun out there, bring those performances, fight for everything for each other, and enjoy this moment that we have here. It's my first time ever at UNC and for this team. And so again, just enjoying that opportunity and maximizing it with every single performance that we have.
Looks like everyone's having fun, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
So both teams coming off pretty strong seasons, but North Carolina setting a new standard in Chapel Hill after a great close at ACC, setting the table for 2026. Close to starting rotation 3, North Carolina with the edge on vault and Stanford with the edge on bars. getting ready for beam and floor. Close, just like we thought. And North Carolina, coming off a terrific season last year, they continued to slowly rise here in Chapel Hill. They were 6-1 at home, and they ended the season with a lot of momentum the way they performed at ACC's. 197-225. That's the third highest score in program history. They set a program record on bars at ACC's. He had Gwen Fink as the beam champion. Kaya Forbes going to the NCAA championships, competing on vault, first individual to go the NCAA championships for North Carolina since 2018. It is so great to have you with us, Jack Kaiser, Florida legend, Trinity Thomas. Big goals for North Carolina this year. They set them right away, and it seems like they're on their way to accomplishing them.
Yes, they are. They want to be on the regional finals. They wanted to have a strong start to the season. They already did that, right? And they also just want to enjoy every moment, which I think is so special because it really is about having fun and enjoying being with each other and working towards a common goal. And that's exactly what they're doing. And they started off hot, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the season goes for them.
No doubt, perfection is emphasized in gymnastics, but you have to enjoy the experience along the way, too. They didn't do that last year, according to Dana Durante. A little bit inconsistent there, but seems like they've really enjoyed it so far this season.
Yes, and you can see them out there. They're having a great time, and that's just so important to me personally, and I'm so glad that they're enjoying every single moment.
Energy contagious. Rotation 3 coming up. All right, first rotation, UNC was on the vault. JoJo Valahovic with a 9-9.
A huge stuck Yurchenko 1.5. JoJo is absolutely phenomenal. Look at the height she gets off the table. Feet are together in the air, and she holds that landing. Uisoma over on bars. What a gorgeous bar routine for a 9.925. Look at this dismount. Double layout, stuck. After 2 rotations, I don't know. UNC and Stanford, they're doing amazing.
Very close overall score right now. 3/10 advantage for Stanford through 2 rotations. You know, JoJo Valahovic tying her career high in vault, and Soma breaking her season high. Young season so far, but still with that 9.925 after a 9.825 on bars last week. You expect these teams to keep getting better week after week. That's the goal, progress, right? And that definitely seems to be the case for Stanford. On to beam and floor. It is beam for North Carolina and Sydney Seabrooks.
How cool is it to have the trust from your team and your coach as a freshman to lead off a beam rotation?
Got to set the tone.
Absolutely. Back handspring step out, layout step out. Fights to stay on the beam there. Cat leap to switch side. One thing that's really interesting about beam is if you have a mistake, it's very important not to overreact. So you just make small adjustments so that you can get back on track. Back handspring step out, 1.5, gets the stuck landing. Very nicely done for Sydney Seabrooks. Let's take another look at that dismount. Back handspring step out, 1.5 twist, sees the landing, gets the stuck dismount. Awesome.
A little bit of a sly grin there, like, yeah, maybe not my best, but hey, I finished strong.
Absolutely, she did.
9-8 last week in her debut at Florida. All right, so many awesome floor routines for Stanford. It'll start with the Olympian from the Philippines, Levi Young Rui Vivar.
And she is just gorgeous on every event. But here she gets to really show off her artistry, and she's been working so hard to perform this routine to her very best ability. Whip, double tuck. Just a tiny bit under rotated. Has to take a little hop forward. From fingers to toe point to facial expressions, she has worked on it all.
Everything is practiced.
Round off whip half front full. Nicely done. No lack of performance quality there. What a beautiful routine from Levi. Whip half, front full. Looks right into the camera, gives us a smile.
She knows what she's doing. And Tabitha Yim, she gets the stick there, was her biggest cheerleader. This is Nev King on beam, second for North Carolina after a 9.75 for Seabrooks.
Preparing for her series here. Back handspring step out, layout step out. Very nicely done. Floor are a little bit similar in the fact that they have to perform. So yes, you're doing a bunch of skills up here on the skinny beam, but it's really important to show off your beam routine, and Nev is doing a great job at that. The dismount. Round off 1.5. Gets the stuck landing. Very nicely done.
Crowd loves that one. 9.575 last week. Can almost guarantee it's going to be much higher than that.
Back handspring, layout step out. You can see a little bit of soft knees here, but the judges do not get to see it in slow-mo like us. Round off 1.5 dismount, gets the stuck landing. Awesome job.
All right, as North Carolina tries to rally here, trailing, coming into the third rotation, a good start on beam. Back to the floor in Stanford, Alana Walker.
Big double pike. Very nice control on that landing. Sometimes when you've got a lot of power, it's hard to control. No problems for Alana Walker. Dances right out of that leap combination. Remember, the loops are just as important as the tumbling. The judges take deductions on those too. They're looking for height, 180 splits, making sure all of those jumps are all the way around. Front through, double tuck. Wow. Very nice. I love the control throughout that routine. She tumbles high, but she knows exactly where she is. Watch this. Big double pike, knows exactly where the landing is. Beautiful. And again here, front through to double tuck, last pass. Again, knows where it is. Amazing job.
Sophomore regular on floor and vault as a freshman last year, back on her home coast out of West Orange, New Jersey, performing today. And here's Hannah Aoki on the beam. A 9.85 last week.
Oh, so that was a triple series. Back handspring, layout, step out, layout, step out. Very difficult. She does one skill with hands, two without hands. This is going to end up being a score that UNC is going to want to drop. Fights to stay on there. It's very important, no matter if you fall or not, to get back up and finish strong, because you have teammates going after you, and she's doing a great job at staying calm, cool, and collected, and finishing this routine to the very best of her ability. Just the dismount. Round off 1.5. Let's take a look at this very difficult series that she did come off on. That's a back handspring step out, layout step out, layout step out. She fights for it, but she's just too far off and does have to come off.
The ceiling very high on beam for Hannah Aoki, two-time Georgia State champ in beam, level 10. The freshman out of Columbus, Georgia. North Carolina will hope to drop that score. Sienna Robinson on the floor, led the team last week with a 9.925.
And this is a fun floor routine. Double tuck. Very nice. Showing off some flexibility there with a leg up turn. Round off 1.5, front layout half, straddle jump. Nice control on that tumbling pass. Love the facial expressions. She's got one more pass left. Double pike, very nice. This should be a very good score. Wow, what a routine for Sienna Robinson.
Sharp the whole way. Very impressive for Robinson. And coming up Thursday, the ACC Network has a great women's basketball doubleheader as Hannah Hidalgo and number 23 Notre Dame host Miami at 6 Eastern. Then India Navarre leads North Carolina against Talea Walker and Georgia Tech. Back to the beam and Jessica Naranjo.
It's important for her to stay very calm throughout this routine. Remember, she is coming up after a fall. Front aerial, back layout step out. Switch half, wolf jump, feet jump. She did have a little bit of a shoulder dip there, so we'll see what the judges do there with that connection. the dismount. Back handspring step out, 1.5. Fights for that stuck landing. Very nice routine to get UNC back on track after that fall. Front aerial. Layout step out. In case you didn't realize, that's 2 skills in a row with no hands. Back handspring step out, 1.5, gets that stuck landing. Very nicely done. That's how you get your team back on track.
Keeps him afloat. Carolyn Wynn on the floor. Reminder, Stanford had a slight edge by 0.3 coming into this rotation, going for their first win of the year.
Double layout. That's what we call an E-pass. The skills are graded from A to E, A being the easiest and E being the most difficult. She's looking right at the judges with that dance. Front through. Double tuck. Very nice. Let's take another look at that double layout first pass. Again, this is an E pass, very difficult. 2 flips in a laid out position. She makes it look easy, but it is far from that.
What makes it so challenging?
Well, you see a bunch of double tucks, right? You're in a little ball like this. When you're laid out in the air, imagine moving through space in your longest position. Twice at that.
Sounds pretty hard.
Yes.
JoJo Valahovic, awesome on the vault, now on the beam. Had a 9.9 on vault earlier.
She has one of the most beautiful back handspring layout step outs. Look at the height. So floaty on that layout step out. Switch leap, switch half beat jump, little off, gets it right back on track. Round off 1.5, just a small hop. Very clean routine from JoJo.
Defending ACC Newcomer of the Year. Holding on tight for North Carolina. And for Stanford, we talked about this stick. This is maybe more impressive here. Did you do this, adding the weight on the rope climb?
I've never done a rope climb with weight. That would be very difficult. This is impressive.
Anna Roberts, the winner, adding 23 pounds.
Oh my goodness, that's so much fun.
I can't even imagine doing it without weights. It's ridiculous. Now Roberts on the floor. Champion in the ACC in this event last year.
She is so powerful. Front through. Double tuck. Very nice control on that landing. Beautiful leaps. Remember, you're looking for 180 or more. That was more. Front layout, front 1.5. Very clean. Her feet were glued together throughout that twist. That was a very nice routine. So much control, so clean. Let's take another look at this first pass. She does a front through to double tuck. And look at how much control she has over this landing. Gorgeous. And a look at this leap. Look at this split here, over 180, straddle over 180. That's exactly what the judges are looking for.
Tabitha Yim loves the EDM music that she has with her routine. It's her favorite.
It's a lot of fun.
Gwen Fink, champion in this event. You'll be hearing me say that a lot today. So many talented gymnasts, and Gwen Fink right up there with the best of them.
I love this leap pass. It's a switch leap, and it's actually very difficult because the first one you get to step into, but the second one you have to use your momentum to do that next one. Series, back handspring step out, layout step out. Fighting for that finish, yes. And this is a high pressure situation for Gwen Fink once again. Because she has to hit this routine for them to not count a fall, which they will not be counting a fall. Very nice routine from Gwen Fink.
So the fall from Aoki will be the score that North Carolina drops. It's grayed out there. For Stanford, it's actually Levi Young, Louis Vuitton with a 9.8. That's the lowest score right now. It tells you how strong the rest of the crew's been. 9.975 for Roberts.
Ooh, I mean, that was a gorgeous routine.
That is a career high for Roberts to set the table for Barbosu, Olympic bronze medalist. The appeal from Jordan Childs and her coach was filed too late, so it's given to Barbosu in Paris in 2024. She is special in this event.
She is, and look at how she shows off all of this dance here. Her artistry is so captivating. Whip, double tuck. That's very difficult. We also saw that from Levi. Most gymnasts do round off back handspring into tumbling. She does round off whip, no hands. She fought for that squat turn there. This choreography. 2.5 twists, punch, front pike. Yep, you heard that right. 2.5 twists. Wow. What a routine from Anna Barbosu.
Spectacular again.
Absolutely. Let's take another look at these passes. This is that first pass, whip to double tuck. Very nicely done. Remember, that's difficult. That whip is no hands to 2 flips. 2.5 twists, punch front pike. She makes it look so simple.
9.9 for Fink, waiting for the score from Barbosu. Tabitha Yim said it takes a certain level of confidence to accomplish what she did at the Olympics. So you wonder how those Olympians will react when they come into a team setting in college gymnastics. But what tempers that line is gratitude. She is so humble, Anna Barbosu, and that has helped her transition to the collegiate scene very nicely. You wouldn't know she's an Olympian when you're talking to her. You had that chance earlier this week. Yes. And then she performs, and you know she's an Olympian.
Absolutely. She is so humble and so kind.
9-9 for Fink. The score drop for North Carolina is Aoki, and a 9-9 for Barbosu to follow up the career high, one of the greats in Stanford history, Roberts, 9-9-7-5. After 3 rotations, it is Stanford with the edge over North Carolina. One more to go in this battle of top contenders of the ACC. We're joined now by the head coach for North Carolina, Dana Durante. Coach, going into this final rotation, what do you want to see from your team?
I want to see them do what they train every day and enjoy it. We've been a little bit tense tonight. I think they're just always trying to put their best foot forward, but I feel a little bit of tension in them. So I want them to enjoy the performance, enjoy this great crowd, enjoy the fact that we get to honor our military today at this meet. And so I want them to really just have a blast out there.
And I know enjoying them, the entire moment is one of your goals from this year. How do you get them to do that going into this last event as they're a little bit behind?
Yeah, I think a little over 5 tenths. We didn't help ourselves in a couple of places, but I think we asked them to just take another deep breath and remember why we are doing all of that hard work in the gym every day so that we can get out here and actually enjoy the performance. So I think they certainly take their lead from us coaches, and so maybe we are also a little like, oh, come on, we got this. And so we'll take a deep breath as well and really enjoy what they're going to show on floor.
Can't wait to watch, Coach. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Certainly one of the goals. We'll see if that comes through for North Carolina on the floor while Stanford takes the beam in the final rotation. It is Stanford in the lead right now by just over 5 tenths after a terrific floor performance from Anna Roberts and Anna Barbosu.
And oh my goodness, this floor routine, I knew there was nothing to take. So I am not surprised by this big score at all. Look at those leaps. She absolutely slayed that floor routine. And then Anna Barbosu comes up afterwards and does this very difficult floor routine, whip to double tuck, makes it look simple. She performs like nobody else. 2.5 to front pike out of it. They deserve a dance party.
No doubt. 4.9275 on floor last week. 4.9475 this week to set the table for perhaps Stanford's first win. They open ACC play. At the final rotation in Chapel Hill, Stanford and North Carolina. Here's how we got here. Stanford was sensational on the floor with a 49.475. That's the second highest score on floor out of any team in the country in this young season so far. It's going to take a pretty big effort from North Carolina on floor and perhaps a misstep, a fall on beam for Stanford. Claire Dean leading off.
Side aerial, layout, step out. Oh no. That is a very, very difficult series. A side aerial with no hands into a layout step out, again with no hands. She did touch the beam. That's going to be a significant deduction.
Perhaps opening the door a little bit for North Carolina.
But remember, they do get to drop one score. So let's say the rest of her lineup hits. They're not an issue. Round off 1.5, just a small hop on the landing. Let's take another look at this series here. Side aerial, layout, step out. You see her shoulders off. She's fighting, 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 but she does put her hands down on that beam. That will be a significant deduction.
You get to drop one score, but that margin for error for Stanford gone now. North Carolina needs a big floor performance starting with Ellie King.
Looks like there might be an issue with the music and stuff here.
The suspense is killing us.
That can be difficult too when you're ready to go, and then it's like, oh, not yet.
Yeah, when some kind of hiccup like that came up for you, how did you recenter yourself?
Yes, honestly, I walked off the floor. Before any routine that I compete, I close my eyes and I focus on my heart rate and I talk to myself in my head. So I would probably be doing that, or just as she is doing, talking to her coach. Just keeps you calm.
Once again, please welcome
phone's charged up.
And sometimes it can be a good reset, especially if you're nervous.
Yep. All good for Ellie King now.
Double tuck, nice control on that landing. Switch ring, switch ring. Double pike, oh, too much. She didn't quite open up in time for that landing, so she did run out of bounds.
Slight misstep late, and you do get to drop one after what looked like a pretty clean routine from King.
Take a look at this double pike. She should be ready to open up, but she holds on a little bit too long and does stay on her feet, but ends up running out of bounds.
9.525 with the hands on the beam for Dean to start for Stanford. Levi Young, Rui Vivar. Tabitha Yim said it just makes her heart swell seeing her perform after stepping away to heal from an eating disorder last year and redshirting. The Olympian is now competing in college gymnastics for the first time.
You're gonna see the same kind of artistry that you saw on her floor routine in her beam routine as well. Beautiful front aerial. Back handspring step out. Even a smile there.
Again, every facial expression is practiced with her.
Yes. Side aerial to beat jump. Switch leap to split leap. She looks so confident up there. Just the dismount. Gainer pike. Goes for the stick. Does have to take a small hop forward, but that was a gorgeous routine. Take a look at this series here. Front aerial. Right into a back handspring step out. Very nice finish. Just the dismount, gainer pike. Almost gets the stick. Does have to take a small hop forward. Great routine for Levi.
Wraps up the first ACC performance for the Olympian from the Philippines. To Gwen Fink on the floor for North Carolina. 9.525 for King and Dean leading off for each team. Fink trailing Roberts slightly. And the all-around.
Front through, double tuck. Holds on to that landing there. Two and a half twists. Very nicely done. Like to see that wolf full front leg up a little bit higher. Let's take another look at these passes. First pass, front through to double tuck. Has a little bit too much power, but holds on to that finish there. And then this beautiful 2.5. Very nice.
This is a first for Gwen Fink. Consistently competing in the all-around. Did it just once last year. That'll wrap up her day. 9.85 for young Rui Vivar on beam, and it's Sienna Robinson's turn.
This is another great beam worker. Back handspring step out, layout step out. A little off, but look how she just keeps moving like nothing even happened. That comes with experience. Switch leap, split jump.
She did show a moonwalk before her dismount last week.
She looks so comfortable up there on that beam. Very nice full turn. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
Dismount here. Round off 1.5. Wow. That's going to be a big score. Very nice routine for Sienna Robinson.
Takes the stick. Stanford's rolling.
Back handspring, layout step out. It was a little off, but notice how she keeps moving her arms. Very nice. 1.5 stuck. Very nice chest position. Great routine.
Beam has been the best event in Sienna Robinson's career. Hannah Aoki on the floor for the Tar Heels.
Looks like she's starting the party.
Some of that energy and joy that Dana Durante was looking for in this final event.
Front through, double tuck. Very good control on that landing. Very nice leap combination. Handspring, front layout, front full. A little short there, but sticks with it. Just has to take a step back. We are looking for a little bit more height there on both of those passes. Let's take another look at that last pass. She did come up a little short, but kept it on her feet. That front handspring, front layout, you want that front full to go up, but it went down a little bit, but she stuck with it, and that's what's most important.
She came onto the recruiting scene late. Wasn't sure if she wanted to do college gymnastics or not between 8th and 9th grade, but got that spark for the sport back. Changed gyms to Georgia Elite, and it took off for her. Now a freshman with the Tar Heels. Back to beam and Temple Landry, co-champion on beam last year in the ACC.
Back handspring layout, step out, very sharp on the finish. Split jump to split ring. That is very difficult to do, especially on the beam. You've got to tilt your head back and then land back on the beam. Showing off some flexibility and balance here. Dismount, gainer pike. Very nice, stuck dismount. Stanford might be on a roll here.
From downtown. Following up the 9.925 from Robinson. Back-to-back 9.925s for her to start the year on beam. Terrific from Temple Landry as well, the defending ACC champ in this event. Got a 9.85 for Gwen Fink on the floor and a 9.775 for Hannah Aoki. So again, with North Carolina trailing coming into the final rotation, they need a really strong finish these final three and perhaps a misstep from Stanford as well.
The back of this UNC floor lineup can put up some big scores. Big double pike. Switch full. Layout, front full, punch front. That was very nicely done. I love the rise on that punch front at the end. That wolf full was also gorgeous. That front leg was above horizontal. Very good routine. Let's take another look at these passes. First pass, big double pike. Chest was just a little low, but she jumped to that lunge to minimize deductions. Front layout, front full. Watch the rise on that front tuck. Awesome.
Had a 9.875 last week on floor to start the season, tie her career high. Naranjo, the junior out of Hialeah, Florida. So now it's Barbosu on beam, who needs a 9.875 to tie Gwen Fink for the all-around lead.
Anna is more than capable. Punch front tuck to back handspring swing down. You don't see those very often. And that was done superbly. Switch leap to beat jump. I think her teammate said it best. They said, there's locking in, and then there's Anna Barbosu locking in.
Different level.
Just the dismount. Double full, just a small scooch back. What a gorgeous beam routine.
See what the score comes in as. Needed a 9.875 to tie Gwen Fink atop the all-around leaderboard.
Let's take a look at these leaps. Switch leap, hits 180. The back leg might just be a little soft, but again, this is in slow motion, and we freeze the photos, so a lot harder to see in person. Double full, look at the rise off the beam. Just gorgeous.
Kaya Forbes, second to last on floor for North Carolina after a 9.85 from Naranjo.
Kaya can do some big tumbling. Take a look at this. Full twisting double back. Oh, smiles like it's simple. Yeah, I did that. Front layout, front full. Nice control there. Very nice leap combination. Gearing up for one more pass. Double tuck. Wow. Just dropped it right into that landing.
Very impressive from Forbes.
Look at this, full twisting double tuck. Looks simple, it is very difficult. That is two flips with a full twist. Closes out with a double tuck, drops it in. Very nice routine for Kaya Forbes.
Dana Durante said her confidence on floor so high. She can make a little bit of a false turn and maintain her composure. All-around leaderboard. Anna Barbosu after her 9.925, the third straight for Stanford at the top, and Roberts needs a 9.75 here to overtake Barbosu.
Switch leap, split jump, a little off, but again, these are experienced athletes. They just make small adjustments. Back handspring, layout, step out. aerial to split jump, very solid. She liked that, we even got a smile. Notice how she's breathing throughout this routine. Keeping herself calm from start to finish. Just the dismount left. Gainer full, stuck.
And that locks up the first one of the season for Stanford.
Take another look at this aerial to split jump. Very nicely done. That back handspring, gainer full dismount to that stuck landing with the chest position. Perfect.
Please welcome Sydney Seabrook.
There's been a lot of people holding that stick today.
Absolutely there has.
All right, our final performer, Sydney Seabrooks on the floor. Anchor last week, second highest score in the nation with a 9.95.
Oh, she's already having a good time. This crowd's in for a treat. Big pass coming up. Sky high double pike. I love the performance level of this routine. Almost makes you want to get up and dance with her.
Better you than me.
Look at those 180 splits. Round off 1.5 front layout. For the first time in front of her home crowd. Sydney Seabrooks.
What a home debut for Seabrooks on the floor.
Let's take another look at this sky-high double pike. Look at the height she gets there. Wow. And then she's just having fun from start to finish, getting the crowd into it, smiling, playing, having a great time.
The confidence she brings just oozes throughout the rest of the team, even just as a freshman. But Stanford with 4 consecutive 9.925s on the beam to run away with it late. And Roberts with her 9.925 wins the all-around for Stanford. Still waiting for the score from Seabrooks to see the final tally for UNC in their home debut. But a big jump for Stanford this week after they lost to Denver on Sunday, exceeding that 197 mark. And North Carolina with a 196.4, just shy of the 196.75 they had last week at Florida. 9.95 again for Seabrooks. 2 in a row to start her career.
Talk about impressive.
Stars showed out, but it was Stanford on the beam delivering late. Anna Roberts, the all-around winner. We'll talk to her next. Favorite Stanford with a road victory, their first win of the season over North Carolina today. 4 consecutive 9.925s on the beam to wrap it up, and Anna Roberts, one of them, taking the all-around title today, her first of the season, matching her career high on beam. Anna, thanks for joining us. In that beam routine, where do you feel most confident right now?
I feel most confident using my words. Tabitha always tells us to just be calm, be normal, and be aggressive with our words. And thinking of those in my routines just reminds me that this is something I do every day in practice, and it's no different than that.
Anna, you looked so calm and confident from start to finish tonight. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
And second, how do you continue this momentum with your team throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think this is something we can take to the rest of season, just knowing that this is only our second meet of the season, and we already improved so much from the first, and we still have a long way to go. I think Tabitha has been telling us to just be calm and chill and like be connected with each other, and I think today something we really focused on was like the celebrations, post routines, and I think that just helped us really calm down and brought a lot of energy to the gymnastics and our routines and help us de-stress a little bit. I think that was really beneficial to us in our gymnastics, and that's something we're going to continue to do moving forward.
Anna, now in your senior season, where do you feel like you've grown the most in your career?
I think just confidence and being able to cheer for my teammates on the sidelines. Like, I no longer really get super nervous for meets. I just come in really excited to be here with my team in the last season, and I'm really excited to continue that for a few more months. No
doubt. We showed the rope video earlier with you guys adding weight, climbing the rope during practice. How much do you think you can go up to? We saw 23 pounds.
I think that's about my max. We only did a few steps, but that was pretty heavy. Yeah.
Maybe add a couple more.
Maybe,
Very
yeah.
impressive. Anna, congrats on a great performance today.
Thank you so much.
Hey, you said it, Trinity. Start to finish, calm, confident, and delivered.
Absolutely, and such clean gymnastics. It's big, it's dynamic, but it's also beautiful at the same time. She started off with stuck landings after stuck landings, like just little mistakes, and she is gonna be incredible by the end of season. I cannot wait to see where she goes with the rest of the season. She was flying high today, and her and Stanford looked amazing.
Look, she's already national champion on vault. That came a couple of years ago. One of the best in Stanford history. Who knows what Anna Roberts has in store in her senior season with the Cardinal. Feels like we're going to be saying champion a lot when ACCs and perhaps NCAAs come around. Big jump for Stanford this week after a solid performance against Denver. This looked like what we expected from the Cardinal, and North Carolina a slight step back, but we still expect a lot out of the Tar Heels this year. Coming up around the ACC, 5 of 6 teams in the ACC ranked in the preseason poll. Clemson picked second behind Stanford. They're currently 14th in the country. Cal, their second year in the ACC. Tanya Paulson did a 9.95 on bars last week. That's 5th in the country. Freshman to watch coming out of Sweden. For Pitt, Allie Copperwheat back for her redshirt senior season. 2-time regional qualifier. NC State with the win over Clemson last night. Tons of great action coming up around the ACC this season. We started it off in ACC action in Chapel Hill with a Stanford win. That's going to do it for us. Stanford takes it over the Tar Heels for a second straight season. With Trinity Thomas and our entire ACC Network crew, I'm Jack Kaiser. Thanks for joining us. Up next, it's ACC women's basketball with Georgia Tech and Duke. But first, we'll send you back to the studio.